The law of attraction is also about being generous, not just waiting that things fall in your lap. It's about being generous with sharing your talents first, even without getting money for it. My vision. My vision is I am here to enlighten more than 500 million people. That vision came to me. Yes, you can. Yeah. That vision came to me when I was 15 years old. And at 15, I had a near-death experience. I was run over by a truck. They declared me dead. And I was coming from school with my bike. I'm from Belgium. All the teenagers there use the bike to go to school. And somebody rushed to my mother, who lived just around the corner, and said, Marie has an accident. You have to come. Somebody that was a witness that knew where I was living. And so my mom came there, and the fabric was already over my body. They had let go of me already. And my mother started screaming, you have to revive her. And they started again. And they put me in the ambulance. And at that time, I was already like hovering over my body. And I was watching my mom in the ambulance, and I'm thinking, what is she doing here? Because I was coming from school. She was not with me. And I was also watching this amazing ambulance guy who had curly blonde hair and blue eyes. And I was looking like, wow, he's cute. Right? Because I was seeing him, and he was reviving me, so it was kind of cool, right? It was like my first kiss, right? So I was like, wow. But I didn't understand why they were like upset. I felt totally peace and joy and happiness, and then whoosh, I was gone. Through all these dimensions. Like if you take the airplane and you would go through all these clouds and then you hit the beautiful sky. Well, it was not the sky, it was the light. And there I came to this beautiful, like a panel, like a jury with all these beings of light. And one of them was my master that I already knew since I was 7, that had started teaching me this meditation. And the meditation I just shared with you was a meditation I was learned at 7 years old. So I've been practicing this now for almost 49 years. And I was like, okay. And they were like looking at me like, And they said, well, you have to go back. You are here to enlighten 500 million people. So 3 days later, I just woke back out of coma. And I thought like, okay, I'm back. But at that moment, I was not in a good place. By being run over by the truck, I fell on pebbles and my whole face was ripped off. Like all the skin was gone. And they were already talking to my mom to take skin from my thigh and do plastic surgery. And she was explaining that to me and said, no, stop, don't do that. I said, Marie, it's really awful. So I said, give me a mirror. So I looked at him like, whoa, that doesn't look good. I said, don't do that. I will heal myself. She's like, what? I said, yeah, I'm going to heal myself. I had no idea where that came from. I never heard about self-healing in my life. I'm Catholic from background, so that's not really what they talk about, right? So saints can heal you, Jesus can heal you, but yourself, like... And so I start putting my hands on my face and imagine and visualize the most beautiful face. And 2 weeks later, I went back to school with a beautiful skin. And still today, this is one of my secrets. Yeah, I'm 56. I don't look 56. And I still heal my face. But at that time, I was also quite upset when I came back because I had really neurological problems. I couldn't study anymore. From a straight A student, I became a straight F student. I was really bad at school. And I was totally into mathematics till I was 15. My idea was I'm going to go to space. I will become a space engineer, an astronaut. Well, I did end up in space, but without the rocket, right? So I'm like, okay, I've done that. Should do something else now, right? And what happened was I talked to my master and said, what did I do wrong? I've been meditating since I'm 7. I know what the law of attraction is. I had this right mindset. I was praying every day to God. I've been a role model, right? And he said, well, Marie, you just have bad Feng Shui. I'm like, what? What's that? Remember, I'm from Belgium, Catholic background. Nobody talks about that. There were not even books out on Feng Shui. I went to the library right away to find books on that time. That was literally 90, 80 almost. And I was like, all right, where are there some information about this? And he said, well, I'll give you some basic principles. So he gave me some basic principles, and I started understanding that my bedroom was really bad. I hated my bedroom. I would always go to sleep as late as possible. The moment I would come to my bed, I would read as long as possible because I hated the energy of that room. It was like, in that time when you were young and then your sister, you have an older sister, they would give you the clothes of your sister. Yeah. Well, I also got the clothes of my sister and the bedroom of my sister. So it was like they pass it on. At that time, nobody was talking about interior design and colors. It was just like, this was literally wallpaper from 30 years ago. Yeah. And images my sister did hang on the wall. And then I went to my family and I said, can I change bedrooms? My brothers already left the house and they had this bedroom where everybody had fun. Literally, they had always friends come over and they were having fun in that room. But in the room where I stayed, I had no friends come over. I was, at that time, bullied at school, beaten up sometimes. I was a straight, good student, but I did not know how to really connect with people. And the moment I moved in that other bedroom and changed the colors my master indicated me, and I worked with white and orange because it was good for me. And I started painting, and I'm not a great artist, but just, painting things and telling around me, right, what is what I wanted. I wanted friends, so I imagined images with friends, and I wanted romance. I put an image of romance, and everything was so different. And within 2 weeks, totally my life shifted. I got my first boyfriend, a real one this time, right? And he was the hot guy of town. And because I was suddenly with the guy with the red motorcycle, all these bullies wanted to be my friends because I was suddenly the popular girl. And my life changed. And I became focused again. Healing happened more and more. And my whole life shifted from some basic principles. And I will teach you these basic principles. That alone changed my life. And I kept using them till I was 30. That was the only thing I knew about Feng Shui. But from there, I was thinking when I was 18, I really want to reach millions of people. So how do I do that? And I thought well, if I become a politician, if I become a UN ambassador, perhaps I will be able to reach millions of people. So I became a lawyer. Because a lawyer in my country is the best foundation to go in diplomacy and to go into politics. So after doing that, my teacher also said, I want you to learn criminology. Because I want you to understand that love is not just to the people that are good, but you need to be able to love even the people on the outside spectrum of society. And so I became a lawyer for the Belgian government and later for the European government. I ran a justice department in one of their fields. And after 5 years doing that, I thought this is not going to happen, right? Because I was bringing all my love and all the things I could do, and I was making promotion after promotion because they had this woman that was so steadfast, so aligned, and I make projects happen so fast because everywhere I went, I used my basic Feng Shui principles and my meditation. So at 31, I said, look, it's time to go on my own. And I started a consulting company. And the first clients I had were the politicians. They started asking me all these years, how do you do this? You know, I was this young woman really and working with politicians and leaders, Supreme Court judges that are 60s, 70s years old, and I was directing the energy. And they were always surprised that everything manifested so easy and fast. And so I started helping them to go within. Right. And these were my first leaders that came to me. So that is one of the things that I started understanding, that it didn't matter how my age was, my soul age was much older. And, you know, after a while, I started teaching them some Feng Shui principles, and I started really feeling it was time to have a real master. And within a year, I attracted a grandmaster, Yap Shanghai, who passed on a few years ago. And he took me under his wings. And he was actually from Malaysia. That was my first visit to Kuala Lumpur. And he knew I could see energy. From an early age on, that was one of the things I could see the quantum field. I could see people's chakras and auras. So I was always working with this beyond the veil. But he also was like this, so he was a perfect grandmaster for me. So he taught me the traditional Feng Shui, but he also told me you have to work with the other side, because you will bring Feng Shui to the West in a completely different way. And so I started understanding, and I studied very intensely quantum physics. I started understanding how brainwaves are working, how the law of attraction is working, and I made this whole new concept of traditional Feng Shui and bringing that together. So after 6 years doing that in Belgium, you know, Belgium is only 10 million people, right? So I want to reach 500 million people, and this is before internet, right? So I did not know how to even reach more. One day I was in America and my master said, you have 3 weeks to move to America, start packing. So I called my husband and said, start packing, we're moving in 3 weeks. So I said, okay. He always wanted to move to America anyhow. So 3 weeks later, we came to America. Oh, thank you, that's the clicker. Oh, you're reading my mind, thank you so much. And this consequence of energy started happening. The first thing I did is I made a vision board. And I put on my vision board a little yellow post-it note. And I put on it, I'm going to be in a movie seen by millions of people that will transform the world. This is something I received. I put it on there. Because I was living in San Francisco and I thought like, hey, I'm kind of close to Hollywood, closer than from Belgium, so perhaps something will happen. And I also bought myself a fake Oscar statue. Put my name on it, Marie Diamond. I thought, oh, I need about 5 years, like 2005, 2006. And every day I would go and I placed it in my success direction, and we're going to talk about what that is, right? Later on, and I put in my success direction, and every day I would go to my vision board and I read, I'm going to be in a movie seen by millions of people that will transform the world. And I look at Oscar and say, hi, Oscar. And I was kind of rubbing his head, you know, like this. So within a month, the first thing started happening. I got a call. I still don't know how they met me and how they got to me, because it was before internet. It was my first Oscar-winning client. That came to me and said, I need some help, not with winning Oscars, but family-wise. He wanted to have a good family. Another thing happened is I attracted as one of my clients, one of the people that later on was in The Secret, Marcy Shaimov. And she introduced me to other teachers. And I had not heard from these people. I mean, I'm from Belgium, right? Have no idea about who is John Gray, who is Jack Canfield, Bob Proctor. I mean, these are like unknowns to me. And within a few months, I'm ending up through circumstances and dreams that led me to be in the living room with Jack Canfield and doing his Feng Shui. And then he invited me to this Transformation Leadership Council, where the top 100 speakers and authors of America on transformation came together for the first time. And he said, I am inviting you. I'm like, Jack, I'm not known yet, right? I'm just starting here. He said, Marie, one day you'll be as famous as everybody else. I'm like, okay. If he believes in me, I'll join. So I'm sitting way in the back of the room, like scared to death, right? I'm like, oh my God, all these people. Millions and millions of books sold. I just had a book of 5,000 copies sold in Belgium. You know, that was it. But I had all these leaders. And what happened is I said yes to it. Because when opportunities rise, say yes to it, right? And the third time we came together, I was in Aspen, Colorado. I'm telling the story because this is how the law of attraction works. This is my law of attraction story. And I'm again sitting way in the back, still very shy. I'm like, what am I doing here, universe? I know you have a reason. I need to enlighten more than 500 million people, but really, is this what I need to do, right? And a few weeks before, I had this dream of this woman. And she had like half blonde hair like me. And in my dream, she said, I am from Australia. Pay attention when you meet me. So there's one chair left in the whole room, and this woman sits next to me. And with half blonde hair, she turns to me and said, hi, I'm Rhonda Byrne from Australia. I'm like, there you are. I said, I pay attention. What do you do? And she's like, whoa, you're so enthusiastic. I said, no, tell me about you. I was like, okay, that's the lady. I have to, because if the universe brings you the people, you have to say yes to them too, right? So we're talking. She said, I do this movie called The Secret for Channel 9 in Australia. And I've been asking all these people to do interviews, and most of them refuse. I said, I'm in. I'm totally in, right? And she's like, really? I said, yeah. And she said, okay. So she does this camera, takes the camera, films me. She said, it's 15 minutes. I ask you 3 questions. 2 hours later, she's like, wow, nobody talks about the law of attraction of your environment. You'll be in this movie. I said, yeah, of course I'll be in this movie. It's on my vision board, right? If this is millions of people in Australia, I don't care, right? It's part of growing my impact. Because every day since I'm 15, I'm asking this question to the universe. I am here to enlighten more than 500 million people. I always say that, and I ask the universe, show me how. It can be one person that I have to embrace. It can be one person I'm healing. It can be one person I'm helping with consulting. It can be a group of people. Hey, if it's a Channel 9 in Australia, good by me, right? So 6 months later, they showed this beautiful movie, and she had interviewed about 70 people, and 24 people made the cut. And she shows that again in this Transformation Leadership Council. And some of these leaders come to me like, why are you in this movie? And you have such a nice shot, you know, a nice little story. And I said, well, was it on your vision board to be in a movie? And he said, no. I said, it's on mine. Oh, okay. So from there, right, what happens? She brings out The Secret, the DVD at that time, right? And after a while, she calls me. She's already living in LA at the time. Said, Marie, the secret is not working. I put all my money in it. It's not working. And I said, let me come over and do my magic. So I come into her apartment, and her feng shui was terrible. I said, what do you want? She said, I want to be on Oprah. Okay, let's get an Oprah magazine. Put it in your success direction, right? Let's change some things around. So things I will share with you today. And so we'll activate this. And she said, what do you want? She said, well, I want people to buy the DVD and buy 10 more to give to others. And I said, well, you have to start yourself. Feng Shui is also about taking action. So how many DVDs do you have? She said, so many. She said, let's go on the streets of LA, starts giving, and I start giving it to my celebrity clients. She sent them up to other teachers, asked them to distribute it, and to just give it, right? Being generous. The law of attraction is also about being generous, not just waiting that things fall in your lap. It's about being generous with sharing your talents first, even without getting money for it in the beginning. So that's exactly what she did. And what people have done since then, right, is that they bought books and they start sharing with their friends, or bought DVDs, start sharing with their friends, because that was the program we set up. And then what we did is, she said, I need a book. I said, okay, I will manifest this book for you. She said, you? Do you have a publisher in America? I said, no, I don't. That doesn't matter. I will find a publisher for you. So within a week, a publishing company came to me and said, we are ready for chapter 11. That means bankruptcy. Can you come, and our last money we'll want to give it to you and do the feng shui? I said, okay, I'll come. So I rearranged everything. I said, and before I leave, there's this little DVD. I think you should make a book out of this. So they went to watch the DVD. Within a few weeks, they had the contract. And with the book and the DVD alone, now, since 2005, we have reached more than 500 million people. Check. Yeah. So it was not just her doing feng shui, the publisher, the PR person, 50% of the people in The Secret are my clients. That's one of the reasons they call me the secret behind the secret. So you want to know the secret behind the secret? You sure? Yes. You're not sure yet. Give me a big yes. Yes. Okay, good. Right. So these are some of the people I've worked with. And you see one of them is Rhonda, Jack, Bob, John, our tribe creator and musician. Marion Williamson, running for president right now, right? Steven Spielberg. Very quickly, the story of Steven Spielberg, how I attracted them. You know, people always ask me, how do you do it to attract these people? I really, to be honest, nothing, except my feng shui and meditation. I'm not good in marketing. That's why I connect with people like Mindvalley, because they are really good in spreading the message. So one day I thought, like, you know what? I always get Oscar-winning clients that only win one Oscar. So I went to buy 2 other fake Oscars and put them in my success direction. I put that, and this is how fast the universe works, right? So I put it on the Tuesday afternoon, and on the Thursday, I get a phone call from someone saying, we want you to come to a VIP client to do their properties. And I said, who is it? Well, we don't want to name. I said, hey, I don't go to people, I don't know who it is. Well, we will tell you who referred us. So they mentioned all the celebrities. I'm like, okay, I'll trust this one. So I'm on my way to the first property, a huge hill in Pacific Palisades. And I'm on the road, and I'm hearing my master speak, and he said, you're going to Steven Spielberg. And I'm like, really? Whoa. So I called my husband and said, don't expect me soon home. I'm going to Steven Spielberg. And he's like, but Marie, you don't even know where you're going. I said, well, apparently now I know. So I come to the property and they don't mention me anything. And then I said, I need to know first names, I need birthdays, you know. I said, oh, Steve, his birthday is. I'm like, okay, I'm getting closer. And they bring me to the guest house first. So there's no personal picture, so I still have no idea where I'm going. And then they're so amazed by what I'm doing. They said, well, we want you to do the personal office. So another building. And I come in and there I see Steven Spielberg with a transformer, Steven Spielberg with a shark, with E.T. I'm like, oh, good. So I'm like, they said, go ahead. So I'm sitting on his desk, right? Sitting on the desk of Steven Spielberg is really an experience. And I'm looking around, I'm like, oh, I don't see Oscars. Okay, what's going on here? So then they asked me to come to his private home, really private home that only the family and the friends go to. And I come to his bedroom. His wife was also with me, don't worry, right? And there I see 3 Oscars. And I'm like, huh. So I'm asking them, when did you decide? Because I was like a week later after me putting them on the Tuesday there. When did you decide to call me? I said, well, we know about you for 4 years. But only last Tuesday afternoon, towards the evening, we start thinking it's time to get Marie Diamond in. So literally within a few hours, as I redirected my energy, the one that had 3 Oscars was able to call me. So I was not ready for him. He was already ready for 4 years for me, right? But I had to put first my 3 Oscars out. So you see some other celebrity clients, and here you see also a picture with Big Sean, a hip-hop artist, and he was in Mindvalley reunion also, right? He came to listen. So he actually connected with me by watching my masterclass, where? On Mindvalley. So he's a Mindvalley tribe member. Isn't that great? Okay, so let's go into really how to do this. So as I studied the law of attraction, I saw there's 3 levels of the law of attraction. The first level is what I call the heavenly luck. It's how you're connecting with your soul. And I would say most of the people here already do that. They have a practice, praying or meditation. They already are going into silence. They're connecting it with their source, if it's through breathing, through all kinds of methods. Now, what I learned is that the spiritual part of us is part of your law of attraction. But it's only 1/3 of the outcome of your law of attraction. So let's say that I give you, out of this 33%, I give you 20%. Like, you know, some of you are really advanced and are already very forward in their enlightenment journey, but some of you are just starting. But I would say the heavenly luck is not just your connection with the universe, it's also the package you received coming into this body. You already have the law of attraction at work when you are born. You are attracting to be born in a certain country, with certain parents, certain family. I'm sure you're like thinking, well, that was not a good choice, right? But it's part of your journey. Perhaps you have some skill sets, some talents. This is part of your package, yeah? Part of my package for sure is I love teaching, right? I'm really good at explaining very complex information in a very easy way. There are certain talents I have, but one of them is definitely not singing, right? Other people, that's their heavenly luck talent. All of you have some talents, yeah? But do you use them, right? That's the question. Now, the second part of the law of attraction is what we call the human luck. It's how you think, how you feel, and the actions you take. This is where the self-help movement has been focused on. That's where, when we have a positive mindset, when we release our problems, we are working on ourselves, we are taking positive actions, we're working on impact in the world, we're making a difference. That is all part of your human luck. And I would say that is about 33% also for each one. And I'm sure many of you have been working very hard on that level. You agree with me? Yeah? So normally I give in a normal crowd, I give them 20 out of 33. I will give you guys 25. Yeah? Because you already have done some work on this. Yeah. But let's be honest, it takes discipline to do this every morning, every day. It's not easy, yeah? It's not easy to start your day with a positive mindset and to end your day with a positive mindset, right? How many of you can say, I can do that all the time? Raise your hand. I don't even raise my hand. Let's be honest, that's really difficult, yeah? There's always moments that you're like, okay, I don't know how to get through this. And then you go in perhaps in meditation, you read some positive book, you listen to some of the great teachers in Mindvalley, you do a quest. So you definitely are redirecting that, but it's not easy. So when I met all these incredible teachers of the self-help movement, and they were telling me they were hitting a ceiling. They had done spiritual practice, they have done a mindset practice all this time, and they were still hitting a ceiling. And then that's when I start talking to them about the earth luck, your environment. Your environment is also responsible for 33% of your environment, of your law of attraction. And the great news is that changing that doesn't need a lot of discipline. Yeah? But you need to know what you're going to do. So before we go to the next level, I want to do a little visualization and to bring you back to your home. So may I invite you to close your eyes. And just take a deep breath in and out. And don't cross your hands and your feet because you're blocking your energy. And just imagine you're outside of your home, in the garden or outside of your apartment, in the hallway, coming in, and you're opening the door. And as you're opening the door, see what's in your entrance. What's the first thing you see? What is the feeling when you come in? Let's say you are God, you're the universe. What is God, what is the universe in you seeing every day you open the door? Is it a carpet, flowers, shoes on the ground, coats, mirrors, images, nothing? What does it say? Make a little mental note of this. Then the next thing, you just move forward, you open your living space, and you walk in. What do you see? What's the first thing you see? Do you see sofas, statues, items, colors, plants? How do you feel when you walk in? And not how you feel, but the God, the universe within you. How does that energy feel when you come in? And make a mental note of that. And then go to your bedroom. Open the door of your bedroom. And the God, the universe within you walks in. And how do you feel there? What do you see? Besides your bed, what hangs above your headboard? What's on your nightstands? What are the colors? How do you feel? Not again your ego, your personality, but literally the God, the universe within you. What does it feel when you walk in? How does it feel? Make some mental notes. And now go to your workspace. It could be that it's in your own home, it can be somewhere else, but just go to your workspace. Open that door. Possibly it's where you're sitting in the living room or the dining room or your own workspace or outside where you work. Just go there. How does the God, the universe within you feel? What does it see? Make some mental notes and then come back to here. Wonderful. All right. Some of you are like, uh-oh, I'm in deep trouble. So I don't know if the micro box for microphones is available. Yep, okay. So I would like to know somebody who wants to share what they see at their entrance. Raise your hand and get the microphone. Yeah? Somebody who would like, yep, there's a lady there. The microphone is there. What do you see?
When I walk, hi, I'm Monique.
Hi, Monique.
When I walk in the front door, I see a beautiful mandala that's in shades of green, hanging on the wall, and then the wall, it's a half rock wall, and then there's rocks on the floor.
Okay, great, thank you. So the first thing she sees is a mandala, so she shows her spiritual self, right? Now I'm sure God, the universe, is very happy with that, right? It just stimulates your spiritual self, right? Are you having a relationship? Okay, great. So do you have a spiritual relationship also? With the partner?
Not as much as I'd like.
Not as much as you like. Because you're actually saying to whoever comes in, you better focus on spirituality here. Right? So you should have a picture of you and your loved one at the entrance. Because you need to tell the universe, hey, tell the universe who lives there. Yeah? Who lives there is God for sure. But make it more personal. Somebody else would like to share. There's some here. Yeah? If you can, yeah, throw the box there. So what do you see?
I am Andrea.
Hi.
Hi. When I come, I see it's one door and then I see another door.
Yeah.
And actually there are two doors leading into the living room. The first one we always on the right we keep open.
Okay.
And the one opposite the entrance are always closed.
Okay. So when you see doors, and that's the first thing you see, you actually don't welcome people because you're already saying go right in, but there's no centering at the entrance. So make sure there's like a carpet there, or especially if you see several doors, it creates a little bit of which direction do I go? Right? Do I go left? Do I go right? So make sure there's an image at the entrance that stabilizes the energy, or a carpet, so that grounds it. And especially everything with earth colors, like orange colors or brown colors.
There is a little bit of a carpet there, which is brown.
But make sure there's some images there too to calm the energy down. Thank you. So let me give you some other tips. So what we see is that some people, they come at the entrance and they have coats hanging and shoes out. Who has that? Yeah. Now, I want you to start thinking about your house as a palace. You're the queen, you're the king in your home. If you want to be successful, you have to show that there's an abundance energy. And having shoes on the ground and coats hanging visible, well, I have to be honest, in any home, I've been from billionaires and I've worked with more than 20 billionaires in my life. They don't have coats hanging and shoes on the ground. The Queen of England doesn't have that visible. So you have to, when you come in, it shows poverty when you do that. So make sure it's tucked away. When you come in, you want to have a feeling of lushness, of abundance, beautiful bouquet of flowers, beautiful plant, not spiky plants, but lush, round plants, a picture of your family. If you have a business there, put something connect with your business. Welcome the universe to who lives there. That's the first thing. Let's go to the living room. Who wants to share about their living room? Oh, yeah, a lady over there. You're kind of timid here. Yeah, you don't want to share what's going on. I'm helping you here. Come on. Yes, please, this lady. Yeah. Throw the box. Yeah, stand up. So what's in your living room? What do you see first?
So we have a
glass door.
just a glass door when we enter. From the entrance, I can see the plants in the living room, and then when we get into the living room, I see the plants first. So
yeah.
that feels like okay for me. But then I always tend to go to the left. And what disturbs me most there is like all the toys of the kids. And I try to arrange it a lot of times, but it's still...
Okay, very good point. So the living room, right, when you have first the toys, you see, it actually says the kids are controlling the house. Right? And she's like, yeah.
I guess it's pretty
right?
true.
So make sure they're always covered, right? Put them in beautiful boxes. Always make sure your first view is something pleasant. It can be pictures again of your family. We also are going to talk about the power position. Make sure you always sit in such a way that your back is not to the door. The sofa is welcoming. You can immediately go into the sitting in the sofa. Make sure the first thing you see is not the television. Who has that, seeing first the television? Then your television is controlling your life and controlling your family life. Yeah? So be careful about that. So let's go to the bedroom. I want to know the bedroom. I was excited about that one. Okay, somebody else would like to share the bedroom. There's somebody over there. So please give them the box. Yeah? So what do you see in the bedroom?
Clothes.
Clothes, a lot of clothes lying all around.
No, on hangers.
On hangers? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, are you single?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't live with anybody, but I'm...
Well, yeah, but there's nobody living with you.
Yeah.
Right? So, you have to understand, your bedroom must be the place that is the most calm. So whatever you put there, like the clothes, boxes, shoes, I have seen everything in bedrooms. You have to understand it creates subconsciously a mess for your mind. It's harder to wake up when you have a lot of things there, even too many books. Yeah, because these are all messages, and we're going to talk about that your home is a 3-dimensional vision board. Write that one down. Never forget that for the rest of your life. Everything that is around you is in the quantum field. And through the quantum physics, it resonates with your subconscious. So if you have all these clothes up there, right, you're coming in, there is no space for other people to even come and hang their clothes because it's already full with clothes. Yeah? So definitely in that case, if you can't change that right now, hang a fabric over it at night. So that impulse of all these clothes is not there. When you can always neutralize things. Yeah. So most of the time people come into their bedroom and what is in your bedroom must be focused on your romantic life, on your health. This is the place specifically for that. So make sure you have nightstands that are decluttered. Yeah, I have seen nightstands full of bills, right? I'm like, how can you even have a good sleep? Every night the last thing you see is, I have to pay my bills. Yeah. Make sure you have no mirrors reflecting the bed because you're doubling yourself. If you're single, well, you're telling the universe, I'll be staying longer single. When you're with two, you're telling, well, I'm inviting some more people coming in, right? So whatever is in your bedroom affects you. So the first thing you see when you go to bed, or the last thing even you see when you close your eyes, will affect you. And the first thing you see in the morning, it will affect you constantly. This is what Feng Shui is really about. Feng Shui is about energy. It's about wind and water. This is a 4,000-year-old energy system. And I call it really a system. It's not an art form. Yeah? I do believe that the shamans on the Chinese land, they were able, like me when I was a child, to see the energy. When I came in somebody's home and somebody's room, I can see this quantum field. I see the grid. The matrix, as some would call it. Yeah? So they could see the influence on people. And they start working first with how the chi and the wind is. So when you have too much things around you, we're going deeper into that, you have a lack of wind, a lack of water, right? And it influences you constantly. So thank you for sharing that. But also hanging above your headboard. What hangs above your headboard? If nothing is happening in your life, it's perhaps because nothing is hanging there, right? I know some of you are like, oh, that's me, right? What hangs above your headboard influences you constantly, because we're not just sleeping in our body, we're also, our energy body raises up and connects in with what hangs above our headboard. So if you have water hanging there, like water images, well, literally, right? That is you're drowning every night in emotions. Yeah. So it's really important. I remember I went once to this lady, and she was 60, and she's like, Marie, I want romance. I said, okay. So I come to her bedroom, and I was like, whoa. Because next to her, instead of nightstands, were two statues that tall of tigers. Ceramic tigers with literally gemstones in the eyes. And I thought they were real. It was so alive. And I said to her, no man is coming in here because the tigers will eat them, right? And she's like, no, Marie, I really like them. I feel protected. And said, yeah, but you have to make a decision between protection and love. So she said, it's really interesting. I only meet men when I'm on a trip. And then they come to my home, literally, and we end up in the living room, but they never come into my bedroom. I said, who would, right? You're eaten alive, right? So, I mean, that was very extreme. But not just for adults, but also for children. The bedroom, they put dinosaurs out, images of Star Wars or whatever. Everything that is there in your subconscious mind, every image is a reality. So if children don't want to go to sleep, if people don't make love, if people don't feel healthy, check out the images around you, because it is subconscious, a reality. That's why I'm calling your home is a vision board. Yeah. Your living area, it influences your personal relationships. Your bedroom, it influences your relationship romantically, health, and also even money, because if your bedroom is not organized and beautiful, you will see that you won't get the inspiration in the morning for your business. Yeah? And of course, your office and workspace. So let's go there. Let me see who wants to share about their office. What do you see in your office? Who wants to share? Raise your hand. There's a lady over there. Please. Yeah. Tell me, what do you see?
Hi, Sarah. I just have like a little desk inside the living room, and on the side that's where my office is, but I don't like to spend time there, so I end up in the living room working, but it's a mess.
It is a mess. Okay. So when it is a mess, how can you concentrate? Yeah. So what you do, literally, you just use your office desk as a place to dump things. Yeah. So you can go and work in your living room, of course, but I have to be honest, successful people don't work from their living room. They work from a desk. They work from an anchoring place. Now you can invite people to sit in your living room, to have conversation and collaboration, and to have teamwork, but you need to work on a space. You need to create an anchoring space. So the first thing you're going to do when you come home is you're going to declutter that, because clutter creates poverty. One of the things I have seen, and that's why I brought in the brainwaves. So we are normally, you know, in daily life in what we call beta brainwaves. And beta brainwaves is like we have a normal concentration, right? But I do believe when people live in beta brainwaves, they are a little bit stuck in the rat race. They are on automatic pilot. They do the things. And you probably have lived in your home a little bit on automatic pilot. You put some things there, and then you have walked in and slept and lived in your house on automatic pilot. Your house is what we call a beta house. Yeah. What I want to do is make your house an alpha house. When it's an alpha house, you have better concentration, more inspiration, more focus, but also like you open yourself up to opportunities, to possibilities. Now, one of the first things to do, and it's a very easy thing, is to declutter. Somebody was yesterday mentioning on my YouTube channel, she said, Marie is a genius. This is the first time in years after watching a video of her that I'm actually decluttering. Just watching a video made me declutter because she had finally understood what it does to her, right? How many of you can go home and start decluttering? Let's be honest, yeah? There's always a place where we dump things and then we are surprised we don't want to be there because when we are in this beta vibration, our heart is not open. Our chakras don't align. You know, people spend thousands and thousands of dollars to get into alpha brain state. And you know, that's a wonderful thing about Feng Shui. Just a few things make you change and get into alpha state right away. So when you are organizing things and you go from a declutter to a organized place, you are going into an abundant state. You go into higher alpha. You will find amazing things when you declutter. Business cards that you probably said, oh, I always wanted to connect with that person. Money, right? Even me, recently, I was decluttering my office. I do that every month. And somehow I left an envelope with $1,000 cash in my drawer and I forgot about it. So I'm decluttering, I'm like, oh my God, $1,000, great. And I was thinking that week, like, oh, I want to support that foundation. And I was like, hey, perfect, money for that foundation, right? So it was always a possibility to create more open space, and the universe cannot come to you with all the gifts you've been asking and all the goals you've been setting because there is no space where you live. I always say there's this universal FedEx airplane that wants to drop all the gifts you've been asking for about the law of attraction. And you're saying, why is it not dropping the gifts? Why are the packages not arriving? There is no space enough in yourself, but also in your environment. Yeah. So start decluttering at least 10%. If you can, 25%. I know that's a big number, right? If you want romance, make sure there's space in your closets for the clothes of somebody else. In your bathroom cabinets, make sure there's space for somebody else there, toothpaste and toothbrush. But not just declutter things around you, but also digital, you know. There's so much, perhaps, emails in your deleted items and you haven't deleted them yet. Make digital space, make inner space, but make also outer space. So you go into alpha brainwaves. That's the first that you need to do. So do I get a commitment on this? You sure? Yes. Great. The second one is some of you are sitting in a poverty position. A king, a queen always sits in such a way that they can see the door. When you're sitting with your back to the door, your brain wave goes automatically within 3 seconds into beta brainwaves. When you see the door, you go into alpha brainwaves. Now, just imagine, right, that I would turn my back to you and I'm on a desk and I'm talking away from you. You know, this is amazing, this poverty position. If you can change this, how would you guys feel? Now, I have a nice back, don't worry about that, but still, how would you feel? If you're with your back to your clients and you say, well, I'm online, Marie, it doesn't matter. in the quantum field. So how many of you have a poverty position right now? Raise your hand. Yeah, okay. So this gentleman over there with the glasses, can you rush up very quickly to the podium? I want to do some testing. Because one of the things I've seen, you can test if people are in beta or in alpha brainwaves. Yeah? So give him a round of applause. Yes? Hi. What's your name?
Juan.
Juan. Okay, come to the center here for the cameras. So tell me, what are you doing in life?
I just graduated.
You just graduated. So in your bedroom or your office, you're sitting with like this, literally you're sitting facing the wall, yes. Right? And where is the door?
To the left.
To the left, like behind you? Okay. So literally what is happening, oh yes, you need to give that to me. Thank you. So they can hear you. So you're literally hitting the wall. You're facing the wall. When you're facing the wall, your brain cannot open up. People are always sitting on the other side. Who's sitting on the other side? Nobody, right? So people always come in through the door. Some will say, well, I love having my view on the bay or on the ocean or on the forest, watching the window. I said, people don't come through windows. The people that come through windows, that's the kind of people you don't want, right? So you are right now literally sitting with your back to the door, okay? So that means you do not see the opportunities. When you're sitting there, it's harder for you to concentrate. So you hold this in one hand and give me the other hand, yeah? So I'm going to do some muscle testing, right? And we're going to practice all that together. So push up as hard as you can. Push up, come on, show me your strength, okay? So think about, I'm a man. Push up as hard as you can. You're a man. You feel that? Okay, we're sure of that, he's a man. So think about, I'm a woman, and I just use one finger, okay? Think about, I'm a woman, yeah? So his brain is saying, that doesn't resonate with me, right? Okay, so he's a man. Now, close your eyes and sit on your desk in your space, facing the wall. Are you sitting there right now? His brain remembers, his body remembers. So think about success. See, this is how weak he is. So sitting there, I'm sure he graduated based on his hard work and his discipline, you know, on his actions. You're very, when I look at you, you're very methodologic, you're very pragmatic, you really study very hard, yeah? But what if you can have it easier? Right? So can you imagine turning that desk around? Don't think about it's possible, not possible. You just turn it around in your mind and you see the door. Can you imagine that?
No.
Yes? Close your eyes. Okay? Just imagine it to turn around. Yeah? Your back is now supported with the wall. Your desk is in front of you and you see the door. Okay? How do you feel? Think about success right now. See how strong you are? Okay, now turn your desk back to the old way, facing the wall. How success is weak, right? So what will you do when you come home?
Change my desk.
Okay, give him a round of applause. Thank you. Thank you. So that is a simple thing. Within 3 seconds, your brain goes from beta to alpha without doing anything else than changing your position.